Imagine waking up every day at 5 in the morning, driving for 12 hours straight in a car that isn't yours, earning barely enough to pay the bills, and still having the courage to believe you're destined for something greater. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But that's exactly what Marcus did for 3 years of his life. And what happened to him in the last 6 months defies every logic you know about money and success. Before I tell you the exact moment everything changed for Marcus, I need you to understand one thing. What he discovered has nothing to do with luck, nothing to do with winning the lottery or receiving a secret inheritance. It has to do with something much more powerful, something that is available to you right now as you watch this video. Marcus was 32 when he realized his life was going nowhere. He'd studied marketing in college, held a few mediocre office jobs where he was just another number. And after being fired for the third time in 5 years, he made the decision many of us have considered: becoming a ride-hailing driver. At first, he convinced himself it was temporary, just until something better came along. But the months turned into years, and that something better never came. Every night he returned to his one-bedroom apartment, exhausted, his back aching, counting the dollars he'd earned that day, crunching numbers to see if he could pay all the bills for the month. And it was on one of those nights, completely exhausted, that Marcus almost gave up on everything. But something happened that night that changed the course of his story forever. Marcus picked up a passenger unlike any other. He was a well-dressed man in his 50s, talking on the phone about a 7-figure deal he had just closed. When the man hung up, Marcus couldn't contain his curiosity and asked what he did for a living. The man smiled and said something Marcus would never forget. "I create realities." Marcus found it strange and almost laughed, but the man continued. He said he had started from scratch, poorer than Marcus, and that everything changed when he stopped chasing money and started attracting it to him. Now, if you're watching this video, you've probably heard of the law of attraction. Maybe you've even tried it and been disappointed that it didn't work. Marcus had heard of it too, had even tried saying positive affirmations in the mirror a few times, but nothing had changed. But that passenger said something that made it all make sense for the first time. He said that most people fail because they're trying to attract from the wrong place, from a place of lack, from a place of desperation. And that's when Marcus realized where he was going wrong. Before I continue, like this video and subscribe to the channel, because what comes next could literally change the way you view money forever. When Marcus got home that night, he couldn't sleep. He'd been researching the law of attraction for hours, but this time from a different perspective. He realized that whenever he'd tried to visualize success before, he'd felt a tightness in his chest, an anxiety, because deep down, he didn't believe it was possible for him. He was visualizing from a place of lack, not abundance. So Marcus decided to do an experiment. He decided that for 30 days, he would act as if he were already the person he wanted to become, even if it seemed ridiculous at first. Every morning, before he started driving, Marcus spent 20 minutes in a state he called frequency tuning. He didn't just visualize success, he felt it in his body. He closed his eyes and imagined in vivid detail what it would be like to wake up in a spacious house, what it would be like to look at his bank account and see numbers he'd never seen before, what financial security would feel like. But most importantly, he felt gratitude for these things, as if they already existed. And here's the secret few understand. The law of attraction doesn't respond to your thoughts. It responds to the emotional frequency you're emitting. You can repeat affirmations all day long, but if the emotion behind them is doubt or fear, you will continue to attract more doubt and fear. Marcus started doing this religiously, and for the first few days, nothing changed. He was still the same Uber driver, driving the same routes, but something was different inside him. He noticed he was calmer, more present, more open, and it was in the second week that things started to get weird in a good way. Marcus started receiving larger tips than usual for no apparent reason. Passengers began engaging in deeper conversations with him, and some of these conversations led to unexpected connections. One passenger mentioned they were looking for someone to help with digital marketing. Another offered a referral for a consulting job, but Marcus knew these opportunities weren't random coincidences. They were appearing because he had shifted his energetic frequency. He was radiating confidence, abundance, and possibility, and the universe was responding. And here's a profound truth you need to understand. The universe doesn't give you what you want, The universe gives you what you are. If you're a person who lives in the state of, I need money, you'll continue to need money. But if you become a person who lives in the state of, I am abundant, abundance has no choice but to flow your way. In the third week of his experiment, something extraordinary happened. Marcus picked up a passenger who was the CEO of an e-commerce company. During the conversation, she mentioned how frustrated she was because she couldn't find anyone who truly understood digital marketing. Marcus, without much thought, shared some ideas he had about marketing strategies, things he'd learned in college but never had the chance to apply. The woman was impressed, so much so that she asked for his contact information and said she wanted to talk more about it. 3 days later, Marcus was sitting in a coffee shop having a business meeting. And a week after that, he signed a consulting contract that paid more in 1 month than he'd earned in 3 months driving. With the extra money that started coming in, Marcus didn't do what most people would do. He didn't go out and buy things to impress others. He reinvested in himself. He bought courses on digital marketing, sales, and business building. And he continued his morning ritual, his frequency tuning, because now he had proof that it worked. And the more he applied these principles, the more opportunities appeared. 6 months after that fateful night with the mysterious passenger, Marcus was no longer an Uber driver. He had built a digital marketing agency with 5 clients, had a bank account with his first 5-figure deposit, and most importantly, he felt a sense of control over his life that he had never experienced before. But I know what you're probably thinking right now. You might be wondering, does this really work for everyone? Or did Marcus just get lucky? The truth is, the law of attraction isn't magic in the literal sense of the word. It's not about wishing for something and expecting it to appear out of thin air. It's about aligning your internal energy with what you want to attract externally. When you do this, you unconsciously begin to make different decisions. Notice opportunities that were always there, but you overlooked, and act in ways that naturally lead you to the results you desire. Marcus didn't attract money out of thin air. He attracted opportunities, the right connections, the courage to act, and all of this came because he first changed who he was inside. The fatal mistake that keeps most people stuck is trying to use the law of attraction while still harboring an identity of scarcity. You can visualize success all you want, but if deep down you still see yourself as someone who never has enough, who is always struggling, who doesn't deserve abundance, then that will be your reality. Real change happens when you first shift your identity. When you start seeing, feeling, and behaving like the version of yourself that has already achieved what you desire. Marcus understood this, and that's why everything changed. He stopped identifying as a stuck Uber driver. He started seeing himself as an entrepreneur, as someone who creates value, as someone who deserves abundance. So here's my challenge to you. If you really want to test whether this works, try the same experiment Marcus did. For 30 days, every morning, dedicate at least 15 to 20 minutes to entering the emotional state of the person you want to become. Don't just think about it. Feel it in your body. Feel the gratitude. Feel the confidence. Feel the abundance as if they were already real. And throughout the day, pay attention to the opportunities that begin to appear. You don't have to believe it will work to get started. You just need to be willing to try. So, I want to hear from you. Are you willing to dedicate 30 days of your life to potentially completely change your reality? If so, leave a comment below saying, I accept the challenge because I want to follow your journey. Marcus's story taught me that no matter where you are right now, you have the power to change everything. But this power comes from within, from your ability to change the frequency you're emitting to the world. If you liked this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss future content. See you in the next video.